Hello folks, Arcadia here, hope you all doing great. In today's video we're taking a look at 5 JRPGs that, as of this recording, still don't have a modern release, remaster or a port. This video is somewhat of a follow-up to a video I made a while back where I listed 5 JRPGs that I felt deserved a remake or remaster. So for this video I will be highlighting 5 more JRPGs that are essentially stuck on older systems. For the past couple of years we've seen an influx of remasters and modern ports of classic JRPGs, which is awesome to see. It gives longtime fans a chance to revisit these games and also opens the door for new players to experience them. But before we dive in, I just want to mention that this list is purely based on my personal picks of games I'd really love to see brought to modern platforms. I'm also throwing in one game I haven't played yet, but would absolutely give it a try if it ever got a re-release. But with that said, feel free to share your own list of JRPGs you'd love to see make a comeback. Alright, without further ado, let's dive into our first JRPG, which is Xenosaga. For this entry I'm making an exception and including the entire trilogy. For those who are not familiar with Xenosaga, it is an epic sci-fi JRPG on the PlayStation 2 developed by Monolith Soft, the same team behind the successful Xenoblade series. Now the Xenosaga trilogy is somewhat forgotten nowadays, which is a shame because it was at the time one of the most ambitious sci-fi JRPGs ever made, with complex storytelling that tackles the topics of AI, religion, philosophy and much more. And while the trilogy wasn't perfect, it still managed to deliver an epic space opera with incredible world building, and it sucks that it is still stuck on the PlayStation 2. I've mentioned this before, but I'm a big fan of sci-fi JRPGs, especially if you include mechs, and Xenosaga checked all the right boxes for me, which is why I was so drawn to the Xeno series at the time, including Xenogears. If I'm not mistaken, there were discussions regarding a remaster, but it got cancelled internally due to poor market analysis results, which is really sad. At this stage I'd even welcome a modern port with minimal enhancements, just to have a chance to experience the series again on current hardware. We all know that Xenoblade has been their main focus, and in many ways it serves as a spiritual successor to Xenosaga, where they have garnered massive success with Nintendo. The ongoing popularity of Xenoblade is still growing, and hopefully it might spark more interest for a potential Xenosaga remaster in the future. Next up is Blue Dragon for the Xbox 360, one of the first JRPGs released during the so-called HD era. Now Blue Dragon was developed by Mistwalker, a studio founded by Final Fantasy creator Hironobu Sakaguchi, who also served as a director and writer. He also had Akira Toriyama doing character and monster design, and the music was composed by Nobuo Uematsu. In partnership with Microsoft, Blue Dragon became the first JRPG exclusive to the Xbox 360. At the time, this was a bold move as JRPGs were typically associated with PlayStation and Nintendo platforms. What made Blue Dragon so appealing was its embrace of traditional JRPG elements, such as turn-based combat, a customizable job system, and an expansive overworld with towns and dungeons, and much more. Unfortunately though, I wasn't able to spend much time with Blue Dragon, and it didn't help that my 360 stopped working. I missed out on many games because of it, including Lost Odyssey, which was another Mistwalker JRPG exclusive that, in my opinion, also deserves a remaster. Now Blue Dragon is playable on modern Xbox consoles via backward compatibility, but it would have been fantastic to see a full remaster on PC and other platforms as well. From what I understand, the game sold moderately well, but didn't reach the global success that Microsoft had hoped for, especially considering the legendary talent involved. The likelihood of getting a port or remaster seems very slim, which is a real shame because I'd love the opportunity to play Blue Dragon again. Next up we have Vagrant Story, A cult classic PS1 JRPG that I genuinely regret missing out on. From what I've seen and heard, this game offers a unique RPG experience featuring deep gameplay mechanics, cinematic storytelling, and at the time one of the best looking JRPGs for the PlayStation 1. It came out during the final year of the PS1, and as of now there is no modern port or remaster. What's really interesting about this game is that I've never seen a JRPG like Vagrant story. From what I can tell, it has a complex battle system where you strategically have to target body parts. Not only that, but armor and weapon affinities plays a big role in combat, and you have to carefully customize your gear based on the types of enemies you're facing. I might be off here, but the game gives off a hardcore dungeon crawler vibe, and I'm all for it. An interesting fact about Vagrant story is that it was developed by the same team behind Final Fantasy Tactics. Not only that, but Vagrant story is also set in Ivalice, which is probably one of my favorite settings in the Final Fantasy series, shared by Tactics and Final Fantasy XII. A remaster of Tactics was recently announced for this year, and I'm really hoping they'll consider giving Vagrant story a similar treatment. I'll be all in for a re-release. It will be an instant buy for me. Next up we have Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2. Now these two games are among my favorite Atlas JRPGs, right up there with Persona and mainline Shin Megami Tensei. Digital Devil Saga is a duology and also part of the larger Megami Tensei franchise. Both DDS 1 and 2 were released on the PlayStation 2, and as of this recording they're still stuck on that system. Many consider the Digital Devil Saga series as a hidden gem in the SMT franchise, and I couldn't agree more. What made DDS so special was its unique and greedy setting. Digital Devil Saga is set in a wasteland where tribes are battling endlessly to ascend to Nirvana. But instead of collecting demons and fusing them like any other Megami Tensei game, here you transform into a demon and you have to survive by devouring the other tribes. It features the classic SMT press turn battle system where you learn skills through something called a mantra grid, a flexible skill tree based system where you can customize your characters into certain roles. Unlike Persona and mainline SMT, DDS had more of a linear but cinematic approach to its storytelling, similar to something you would see in a Final Fantasy game. It was also the first Megami Tensei game that fully embraced voice acting, adding a new layer of immersion to the experience. Lately, Atlas have been remaking and remastering classic titles like Nocturne and Raido Kozunoha. It seems like they are committed to bringing older games back with updated features. Hopefully we'll get to see that treatment for Digital Devil Saga. And the last game on this list, but certainly not the least, we have Radiant Historia. Now here we have an Atlas game that has throughout the years been one of the most beloved JRPGs to come out of the Nintendo DS era. What makes Radiant Historia so special is its mix of time travel, tactical combat, and great storytelling. It has a brilliant time travel system where you have to jump between two parallel timelines to solve puzzles, gather information, and prevent disastrous futures. In Radiant Historia you will make choices, but instead of punishing you for making the wrong choices, the game encourages you to learn from your failures and use that knowledge across the timelines. Radiant Historia is also known for its unique turn-based combat system, where battles are done on a 3x3 grid. You can use skills to knock enemies into formation, stack attacks, and combo them for bonus damage. You can also manipulate the combat timeline to swap turns with different party members, which adds another layer of strategic planning. The turn-based combat in Radiant Historia is up there as one of my favorites and still holds up brilliantly today. There is an expanded remake on the 3DS which adds a third timeline with expanded lore, voice acting and other quality of life updates like autosave and difficulty settings. As of this recording, Radiant Historia is only available on the Nintendo DS and 3DS. However, it would have been incredible to see one of the best JRPGs from the DS era receive an enhanced port on modern systems, especially on the Switch. And there you have it, 5 JRPGs that, as of this recording, still haven't seen a modern release. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to share your own list of JRPGs you'd like to see make a comeback. Thank you for watching this video, and if you're into JRPGs and gaming related content, consider subscribing. Take care, and I'll hopefully see you guys next time.